We are awaiting Mayor Henyard to arrive. We will give another 5 minutes.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard delayed the meeting with no explanation.
We're not your damn subjects. We are your bosses. We are the citizens of Dalton. And you will not continue to treat us like this. Because you...
Tiffany Henyard, once hailed as the super mayor of Dalton, is watching her political empire crumble in real time. The drama surrounding her downfall is nothing short of jaw-dropping. From being ousted from the ballot in a historic caucus to facing mounting legal troubles and public outrage, Henyard's once lofty ambitions are now colliding with scandal after scandal. Could this be the final chapter in her controversial career, or will she somehow claw her way back to power? Let's dive into the chaos. It all began with what Henyard likely thought would be a routine political maneuver, securing her spot on the ballot for re-election as Thornton Township supervisor. However, in a shocking turn of events, her name didn't even make it onto the list. The reason? She failed to meet a key requirement, completing certification as an assessor. This technicality, combined with the Democratic Party's decision to hold a caucus instead of a primary for the first time in decades, left Henyard scrambling. Behind the caucus decision was Illinois State Senator Napoleon Harris, who also happens to be the Thornton Township Democratic committeeman. Harris didn't just oversee the process, he emerged victorious, securing the Democratic nomination and effectively shutting Henyard out. The caucus itself was a spectacle. Hundreds of people gathered in the cold outside the Homewood Flossmoor Park District Auditorium to cast their votes. Tensions ran high as Henyard's supporters clashed with Harris's camp. When the final decision was announced, the crowd erupted, not in outrage, but in celebration. They even sang Henyard out of the room with a rendition of "Nah nah hey, hey, kiss him, goodbye," a taunting anthem that left Henyard visibly shaken. "Illegal Napoleon," she snapped, storming out of the auditorium as her supporters looked on in disbelief.
You don't get the Democratic Party's nomination.
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. You will see people out here.
Henyard didn't mince words about her feelings, calling the entire process a sham. "You didn't run none of this the right way," she said, vowing to sue everyone involved. She claimed the rules were manipulated to keep her off the ballot, citing the last-minute announcement that candidates couldn't run for multiple offices. For Henyard, who's also seeking re-election as Dalton's mayor, this was a direct blow. However, Harris and his team insist the process was fair, pointing out that this has been the tradition for many other townships around the state.
The caucus works right here in Thornton Township. You can also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing.
For Henyard, the caucus loss is a significant blow to her image as the so-called super mayor. She has long touted her ability to juggle multiple leadership roles, but this defeat undermines her authority and leaves her vulnerable in the one position she still holds, mayor of Dalton. That role has been anything but smooth sailing. Henyard's tenure as mayor has been marked by chaos, from allegations of misusing taxpayer funds to public clashes with village trustees. Just this week, a judge ruled that her handpicked interim police chief, Ronnie Burge Sr., must vacate his position after only 30 days. The Dalton Police Department has been without a permanent chief for most of the year, and trustees have openly criticized Henyard's handling of the situation. "We hope to have a say in who the next chief will be," said trustee Jason House, who is also running for mayor. "If we deem that person not a good fit, they will not be approved."
Scheduled village hall meeting turned into political antics where the opponents for Mayor Tiffany Henyard say they're counting.
Public sentiment appears to be turning against Tiffany Henyard. At a recent village board meeting, many residents stood with their backs to her as she spoke. However, Henyard remains defiant, declaring, "Like it or not, I am your mayor," even comparing her potential victory to a controversial former president's rise to power. Her confidence, though, seems increasingly misplaced, as comments from frustrated residents capture the mood. "Dalton, please vote as early as you can, everyone vote. Make it too big to rig, get her out of there." What's even more surprising is how Henyard continues to double down on her controversial decisions. In a recent move that baffled many local leaders, she pushed forward a proposal to refund 100% of homeowners' property taxes, which critics have labeled a desperate attempt to buy votes. Trustee Brittany Norwood walked out of the meeting where Henyard introduced the idea, calling it financially reckless and a publicity stunt. While some residents initially welcomed the idea, others quickly pointed out the village's massive budget deficit, making the plan virtually impossible to implement. An increasing number of former allies are turning on Tiffany Henyard, with whispers of tell-all interviews and leaked documents beginning to circulate. One anonymous former staffer claimed that Henyard's leadership style has alienated even her most loyal supporters. At first, people believed in her vision, but now it's all about her ego, the source said. She doesn't listen to anyone and is quick to retaliate if she feels threatened. This sentiment is echoed by local trustees who have publicly clashed with her, accusing Henyard of creating a toxic political environment and prioritizing her own image over the community's needs. Adding to the chaos, Henyard's behavior at public events has raised more eyebrows. At a recent township meeting, she arrived late, visibly upset, and called out trustees by name, accusing them of undermining her. The scene grew so tense that several attendees left before the meeting ended, claiming they felt uncomfortable with the tone Henyard set. "It's not leadership, it's theater," said one attendee. "She's more focused on the drama than the actual work." These public outbursts, coupled with her mounting legal troubles, have only deepened the divide between Henyard and the people she is supposed to serve. The controversy surrounding Tiffany Henyard extends beyond the caucus loss. Over the past year, her administration has been plagued by investigations into her spending and leadership style. Reports reveal that she and her entourage racked up over $100,000 in travel expenses, meals, and public events, with one sparsely attended concert costing $85,000. Her namesake cancer charity was shut down for failing to disclose how it spent its funds, and the Illinois Attorney General's office warned her foundation to cease soliciting donations until it complies with state regulations. Even after the FBI served subpoenas in April, Henyard's spending reportedly continued unchecked. Tiffany Henyard's leadership has come under heavy criticism, with many labeling it as more self-serving than community-focused. Trustees have accused her of using taxpayer funds for personal gain, including first-class flights, luxury accommodations, and even beauty services. She's also been criticized for promoting herself through town billboards and music videos featuring city employees. One trustee described her behavior as a stain on our community, while another called her administration a dictatorship. Residents have voiced their frustrations as well, with one commenter stating, "Money and power corrupt." The more power, the more corruption. Henyard is also facing allegations of targeting political opponents. The Dalton Park District has accused her office of withholding permits for 2 grants worth $600,000 for playground upgrades. Without the permits, the grants could expire, forcing taxpayers to cover the cost. Park District officials believe the citations and delays are politically motivated, pointing out that Henyard's opponents were allowed to hold meetings on their property. "We do not play politics here," said Park District President Cleo Jones, urging Henyard not to involve them in political disputes. Adding fuel to the fire, one of Henyard's closest allies, former Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey, was recently indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges. Federal prosecutors allege that Lacey concealed assets and underreported his income to avoid paying creditors. Lacey's lawyer claims the indictment is part of a larger strategy to build a case against Henyard, but the charges only intensify the perception of corruption surrounding Henyard's administration. Amid the turmoil, Tiffany Henyard continues to insist she's being unfairly targeted. In a recent Facebook video, she accused her critics of spreading false narratives and suggested a conspiracy aimed at bringing her down. "Why all this attention on me?" she asked. "What are they doing that they don't want us to know about while distracting us over here?" Well, they're hiding from us. Concerns about the village's financial issues have also come to light. Earlier this year, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, hired as a special investigator, revealed that Dalton's general fund balance had dropped from over $5 million in 2022 to a nearly $4 million deficit by 2024. Lightfoot's preliminary report also flagged questionable spending, including $43,000 in Amazon purchases in one day. As Tiffany Henyard's legal and political troubles mount, her options are dwindling. Running as a write-in candidate for Thornton Township Supervisor is a difficult path, and with her approval rating plummeting, even her mayoral re-election in Dalton is uncertain. Some believe her allies are already preparing to abandon her, leaving Henyard increasingly isolated. Despite this, she remains defiant, insisting the show will go on after her caucus loss. But for how long? Is this the end of her political career? Or can she stage a comeback? What does this situation reveal about the state of local politics in America? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding story.